and welcome to the Intel Brief. Today is Monday, 3 November. I'm your host, Daniel, and today we're going to talk about Trump said that he's not going to allow Ukraine to have Tomahawks for now. Tens of thousands of people have protested in Serbia on the anniversary of the deadly roof collapse, and Trump said that there could be military action in Nigeria. So firstly, US President Donald Trump said on Sunday that for now he is not considering a deal that would allow Ukraine to obtain long-range Tomahawk cruise missiles to use against Russia. Trump has said that the plan for the United States to sell Tomahawks to NATO nations that would transfer them to Ukraine, saying he does not want to escalate the war. His comments came while he was on Air Force One and indicate that he remains reluctant, according to Reuters. So what? I kind of said this at the time. I don't think Tomahawks are like the wonder weapon that will change the war for Ukraine. I think they're just another weapon in their arsenal. They could help in their campaign against degrading Russia's, especially military and fuel infrastructure. But I don't think they're like a game changer. So I don't think it should be taken as a massive hit for the Ukrainian kind of war effort. The bigger issue to me is the slow grinding down of their troops along the front and getting caught in pockets such as Pakrovsk. That to me is a bigger worry than not getting Tomahawks. Outside of that, I mean, their wider strategic campaign maintains the same. Long-range drones to target fuel infrastructure and try to just slow down Russian advances through active defense. Though, I don't know, news over the weekend was not very positive around what's happening in Pakrovsk, so I don't know, a bit deflated as it is. And next, tens of thousands of protesters poured into Serbia's second biggest city on Saturday, a year after the railway station roof collapse that killed 16 people, unleashing discontent over alleged corruption and the lack of accountability within the government. Months of protests across Serbia stoked anger over the failure to prosecute those responsible for the roof collapse and have rattled the president Alexander Vucic's long-term grip on power, raising calls for early elections. So what? It was a pretty interesting thing to watch. Unlike previous protests, this one didn't get extremely violent. The police didn't try and crack down on it like in a big way, which is kind of interesting, just letting them kind of show their discontent towards the government's a bit of a change for the Serbian political landscape. Interestingly, they quickly they turned it into a national day of mourning, which kind of shows you the arrogance and the way that Vucic and his government thinks about these protests, because so clearly was this going to be a big day of mourning for this incident. Like, this has been the main political thing in Serbia for the last year, and they didn't think to try and get ahead of it to make it a national day of mourning. Like, I don't know. It just seems a bit short-sighted, as there haven't been, massive protests in the last few weekends. So, yeah, I don't know. It seems a bit silly, but as predicted, these protests have done nothing to collapse the government, who have held on to power for a very long time. So, yeah, that is just the way things are, I guess. And lastly, US President Donald Trump on Sunday said that the US could deploy troops in Nigeria or carry out airstrikes to stop the alleged targeted killing of Christians in the West African country. On board Air Force One, when asked by reporters if he envisioned the US military conducting action in Nigeria, he replied, "Could be." What does that even mean? He added that I envision a lot of things. They're killing record numbers of Christians in Nigeria. They're killing the Christians and killing them in very large numbers. We're not going to allow this to happen. So what? I think it's unlikely that the US would do this without the blessing of Nigeria, as that would cause some international issues. But I think it is likely that Nigeria would allow them to conduct action against these Islamic terrorists. What kind of the overall weird question is the US has AFRICOM. They have forces. They have special forces in Africa that are there for this mission. So what have they been doing? Why aren't they doing this type of work already? This doesn't seem like a massive political issue. This just seems like build a relationship with Nigeria, write up target plans, get blessing from the US leadership, and conduct military operations against terrorists in Nigeria. This doesn't seem like a massive shock. It would be a shock if Nigeria was like, no, we don't want any help. And then the US were like, well, fuck you, we're doing it anyway. But I don't think that's likely. I think Nigeria would be more than happy to have the support of US air power and probably US special forces to fight back these Islamic extremists. Lots of countries in Africa would be. So, I don't know. It just seems like a strange way to put it, as if, now I think about it, putting it as if Trump is this great protector of Christians is possibly the game plan here. So yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see if Trump comes out with similar rhetoric in other places, because, then we can kind of see a pattern of behavior. But as of yet, not so much. Anyway, that's been your Intel Brief. I've been your host, Daniel, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you.